This week, we will be taking a look into the actor-actress selection process by interviewing 6 cast members from the new Jane Eyre adaptations to be released next summer. I hope all of you gain some useful knowledge from this analysis. First, Rochester will be played by Michael Fassbender, commonly known for his role as Magneto in the X-Men. Fassbender is a seasoned actor, also known for his parts in 300, A Dangerous Method, 12 Years a Slave, and many other films. Fassbender does have experience with settings in the Victorian era, having held a leading role in A Dangerous Method, which takes place in 1904. Besides having ample experience, Eichel meets the physical description of Rochester to a T. So, Michael, each of your many roles, do you think has prepared you best for being Rochester?
Definitely A Dangerous Method. The setting of that film was a very male-dominated era, and so Jane Eyre being even more male-dominated, the role of Rochester shouldn't be too difficult. Rochester is a very forceful man with strong opinions and a rough way of delivering them, and I'm very used to characters with similar traits.
Thank you, Michael. Congratulations again on your lead. Next up, playing Jane will be none other than Shailene Woodley, the talented actress Divergent and The Fault in Our Stars. Shailene, why do you think you were picked for the role of Jane?
Well, it's a huge honor to be chosen for this part with so many other actresses to choose from. I believe I was picked for Jane primarily because a lot of the characters that were so successful were rebellious people. They also had really humble beginnings like Jane, and later in life became powerful.
There are many parallels between your previous roles in Jane, namely Tris from Divergent, except for the fact that you are very beautiful and Jane is not described by Charlotte Bronte as pretty in any way. Do you think that your physical qualities had anything to do with you being chosen?
I do think that. Rochester and other characters mention many times how small she is, especially her hands. I do believe that my size played a considerable role in me being chosen as Jane.
Well, congratulations, Shailene. I hope all goes well. Coming onto the stool now is an actress known very much for her beauty as for her acting ability. Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, my goodness, I am so stoked to be playing Blanche. In Jane's description of Blanche seems a lot like Ellie from Legally Blonde. Not that I particularly enjoy all the roles I get, known for being shallow people, but I feel like I do those roles the best.
I guess that's why the producers made 3 movies. I totally agree with you, Reese. Do you think that you'll have any trouble adapting to the Victorian style?
Personally, I don't feel like it'll be any trouble. A girl that's rich and stuck up 150 years ago is going to be pretty similar to a rich and stuck up girl in today's world. I'll just have to dress different.
Well, I hope they give you the best dress they have. Congratulations, Reese. Now, to one of Jane's least favorite people, Mrs. Reed. Mrs. Reed is arguably one of the most important people in the story because she develops the original impression the viewers have of Jane and provides a foil for what Jane becomes. Mrs. Reed must be icy cold, yet proper at the same time. So who better to choose than Emma Thompson? Mrs. Thompson, it's Ellis. Why do you believe you were selected to be Mrs. Reed?
I believe it is largely because I have done multiple Shakespearean films. That, combined with having extensive experience with Ken Branagh, the greatest director of Shakespearean and Victorian films that there is.
Absolutely. Also, you seem to do very well parts that are more formal or proper and not. And Mrs. Reed, being a Victorian woman, would have to be extremely so.
Yes, I suppose that would have a lot to do with me being cast. I do believe that I will be able to get the cold and unforgiving side of Mrs. Reed done, partly because of all the preparation I had from Mary McPhee.
Yes, well, it's too bad that Mrs. Reed doesn't have the good side and Annie McPhee did. One person that is definitely as cold as Mrs. Reed is Reverend Brocklehurst. Brocklehurst is definitely an intimidating figure, capable of striking fear into the hearts of the children he watches over. So we welcome Donald Sutherland as just the man to play the part. Mr. Sutherland, you have a very extensive acting career. Which of your previous characters is the most similar to Reverend Brockhurst?
Well, that's a difficult question to answer, but I'll have to go with President Snow from the Hunger Games trilogy. Snow had a heart of nothing but rocks and ice. He was stingy and manipulative. Brocklehurst, to me, is essentially the President Snow of Lowood School.
Right you are, Donald. Brockhurst has a way of being terrifying just because of the power he possesses and the way in which he enforces it upon his subordinates.
Which is very much like Snow. Also, Brocklehurst is described several times as being a pillar. I believe I fit this description quite well, being 6'4" and all.
Yes, being a head and shoulders over most of the other cast members will add to the pillar effect quite nicely. The last member of the cast of Jane Eyre that we have today is the actress cast in the place of Eartha Mason Rochester, the insane wife of Edward Rochester from the West Indies. It is my pleasure to welcome Jessica Alba.
I am so excited to be playing Mrs. Rochester. Most of my previous movies, I've been the typical damsel in distress, and so this one is way different than what I am used to.
Do you think you'll have any trouble convincing the cameras that you truly are insane?
I don't think that'll be a problem for me, no. I am quite athletic, so I believe I will be able to make the fight with Michael quite believable, as people gone mad have inhuman levels of strength.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you were selected primarily because of the appearance of Mrs. Rochester.
That is correct. Bertha had darker hair and skin like me, so I fit the bill quite nicely.
And not to mention being a very beautiful. I do enjoy the role, Jessica. Congratulations. Well, that concludes our interviews with the 6 members of the new Jane Eyre film. I hope you all learned some valuable information and analytical insight into the actor-actress selection process. Well, that concludes our interviews with the 6 members of the new Jane Eyre film. I hope you all learned some valuable information and analytical insight into the actor-actress selection process.